There is a picture from Archie's christening that people are claiming it has been Frankensteined with Photoshop. And it's this picture that my first impression was that there's something odd in here, so let's get down to it. Welcome back, my body language buddies. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the body language guy. But before we begin, I want to invite you to my locals community, where I will be sharing all my tips to avoid being manipulated by narcissists. That will be the focus of my locals community from now on, and you can join for free as a member with the link in the description of this video. And the first detail that caught my attention looking at this picture was that, William, I absolutely thought that he was copied and pasted in the frame. There's no way this is real, right? Well, that's what I said to myself. Now, the first thing that you have to do every time you're gonna analyze any picture or video is go to the source. You need to find the highest resolution version and need to find the source, the original source of the picture too. Well, make sure that it is the right one, that has not been modified in any way, and what you're seeing in your screen is the original from the source. And that's what I did when I went to Getty Images to look for it. And yes, this is interesting. Of all the photos of the royal family, including those featuring Harry, Meghan, and Archie, the two from Archie's christening are the only ones that have these warnings on that website. Restricted asset, okay? But at the same time, restricted asset, we cannot license this online. We have to reach out to them by email. That's strange. I have licensed many royal pictures and videos and have never seen this warning. I just go online and do it. And this warning requires approval from Royal Communications. There's no other picture from the royal family that has this warning. And you might say that, well, maybe it was Archie that was in the picture and that's why it had that warning. But that warning doesn't appear in any picture of Charlotte or Louis or George. So the next thing that I did is to look for the picture with the highest possible resolution. And detailing the picture, the first thing that I have a strong feeling is that William and Catherine were copy-pasted. Why? Because Lady Jane and Lady Sarah and Meghan are crisper, despite William and Catherine being perfectly still. You can see that Lady Sarah's features, eyes, everything are much crisper than Catherine's. But that is not enough to say that, well, this is some kind of Photoshop, because yeah, people can move just the slightest at the last minute and yeah, they will be a bit blurry as Catherine isn't here. Then there was a matter of shoes, and why are Catherine's feet levitating? This was a mistake on my part when I was reviewing the picture on Twitter. You know that Twitter is like my public scrapbook. I just juggle ideas in there. I can, make mistakes in there. And in this case, yes, I thought it was odd that there was this shadow between her shoes and the rug. But yes, it could be that her feet were just leaning or inclined in one direction. So there was this tiny space below their shoes. So no big deal so far, right? I noticed that many of my body language buddies, including the legendary Marky Meg here on YouTube, were saying that, well, this EXIF data, that is like the original data of the picture, says that it was taken 2 days after Archie was born. And it will be impossible for Archie to be like this 2 days after being born. But in my experience, EXIF data can be tampered with, can be modified, and you can even modify the camera before, or you can just forget. Yeah, it could be odd, but you can also forget to adjust the configurations of your camera. Maybe you change that for some reason, I don't know. But yes, some pages that deal with this forensic analysis, there are some portions of EXIF data that can be manipulated by the user, so they can be viewed as reliable on their own merits. That being the image description, date and time, author, and in some cases the GPS timestamp can be changed through the settings long before photographs are produced, which leads to skewed, and misleading date and time. This is not a claim that the photo is legit or fake. It's only that EXIF data cannot be that reliable. Another claim is that Both Camilla and Charles were wearing the exact same clothes than in Prince Louis' christening, and that is just wrong. I'm going to prove that with Photoshop right here. I'm gonna show it to you right now. Notice that this is Camilla, and notice that, okay, it's the same necklace, but her dress has no ornaments in the neck, no ornaments here. This is in Archie's christening, all right? And in Prince Louis' christening, you see that her neck has this ornament. It's the same necklace, okay, but the dress is not the same dress. Okay, you can see these ornaments in here. It's impossible not to notice that. And in regards to Charles' suit, it might be the same suit. I don't know, that there are changes in the color filter of this picture, but it might be the same suit. Okay, it has the same flower. I guess he likes that flower, but both the tie and the handkerchief are different in both instances. And you can tell me, well, they could have changed that with Photoshop, and I would tell you, okay, yes, they could have done that, but there has to be some kind of intention behind that. To hide what? I don't know. It's like taking too much trouble for something. Another claim is that Lady Jane and Lady Sarah were not reflected in the mirror behind them. But the problem is the angle of the camera, because you can actually see Lady Sarah's hat reflected on the mirror behind her. But it is not at the same height because the camera was positioned in a way that was at Meghan and Archie's height. So with that angle, that's why the reflection of Lady Sarah's hat is so low in respect to her. And in the case of Lady Jane, well, she has no reflection because this huge clock in here was just obstructing the view. Big shout out to Miss Witang Rock Lobster on Twitter that spotted this, but William's watch is showing the same time as the clock behind. That's why I have the best body language buddies. Look at this. There's the time in here, the time of the clock, okay, and the time on William's watch is exactly the same. Hey, you have here the two hands of the clock. Here you are. And here the two hands of the clock. Another mystery that supposedly proved that this was Photoshop, that was Catherine's chair, which had no back legs, but that's why you need a high definition version of the picture. Upon close inspection, you can see that there is one leg in here. I'm gonna mark it right now. There's one leg in here, right, hiding behind, well, Catherine's leg. Okay. And there's the other leg in here. You can perfectly see with a high resolution version. There's the back leg. So no, Catherine is not levitating or floating. There are the two other chair legs, only that the perspective hides them from our side. There's something I'm going to say. The real problem I had is, Harry, why are you wearing those shoes? And why are you crossing your legs at your ankles? No, man, no, don't do that. That is terrible. Please don't do that. Another observation is that there was something strange, well, some onlookers were saying about Archie's hand. I don't see any problem at all in here. It's a baby hand. It's I don't know. If you have further opinions about this baby hand, you are welcome to share them in the comments. Just keep them respectful, please. There were also claims that William is giant in that picture. Well, no, he is not. So it's not that much different from the picture we saw a couple months ago. This was an interesting photo to analyze, but with so many details that the Harkles have done, not only in pictures, but in words and actions and everything since, well, years ago, then it's normal that we are suspicious of whatever seems out of place. But in this case, after reviewing all the details of the picture, I can safely say that it's legit. Of course, you are entirely welcome to disagree and express your opinion in the comments. My body language buddies, my name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the body language guy, and remember to download my 100 body language tips right in the description of this video. Much love and bless.